There's always potential for anyone in the community of care to make mistakes around medical decision making. Two of the more obvious ones might be to attach too much weight to a statement either in an advanced health directive or an advanced care plan, or to attach too little weight to it. In the first case, a patient is admitted with notes on the back of an envelope saying, I don't want to be resuscitated. Well, if a clinician were to take that and say, well, that applies to every possible set of circumstances, then that gains the equivalent status of a not for treatment or a refusal of treatment statement. Now, that's clearly very dangerous ground, because ethically, as well as at law, that's a very fraught sort of conclusion to reach. So it's important that we understand medical decisions have to be made within particular contexts. I can refuse a treatment within a particular episode or with regard to a particular condition I might have. I have heart disease. I might well make a statement in an advanced care plan, in the event of a heart attack, I don't wish to be resuscitated. Well, that doesn't apply if I'm choking or if I've had some other kind of critical incident. It clearly only applies in the context of this particular condition. Now, that's the sort of care we have to take in interpreting advanced health directives, advanced care plans. We can't put too much, we can't credit them with more weight than they have, but we shouldn't credit them with less either. So, for example, a patient says, I don't want to be resuscitated. They don't really mean that. That's they're just old, or they're not fully aware of what they're doing, so we can ignore that. That's also a very fraught sort of conclusion to reach. It's once again extremely important that all health professionals recognise that they're part of a community of care, that there are other people in that community who may have ethical and legal authority to make decisions on behalf of the patient. Those people need to be part of the decision-making process. Now, true, some admissions are so time constrained, they're so urgent, that it doesn't allow time for consultation. In that case, again, clinicians have the protection of the law to do whatever the clinician believes is necessary for the patient at the time. And everyone would recognise that that's a reasonable thing to do. You can only act on information that you have at hand or can reasonably bring to hand. So it's possible to make mistakes, but I think some prudence, some caution, but above all good communication will resolve most of those. Some doctors may fear that they could be accused of coercion if, for example, they try to influence a patient's decision by giving them information in one particular way. Now, on the one hand, the age of medical paternalism is gone. All doctors, all health professionals know that the ultimate decision about accepting a medical treatment rests with the patient or with their responsible person, their delegated person. And so it's with that person that information needs to be communicated. It needs to be communicated in a balanced way, which always includes several things. One is, what are the comparative benefits and burdens of a particular option, and what are the other options? So, clearly, if I'm going to give well-informed consent, and therefore ethically and legally valid consent to a treatment, that needs to be informed by all of the available options. What are their comparative risks? What are their comparative benefits? And then I'm in a position to make a reasonable decision. On the other hand, it is important for patients to listen to the advice of their clinicians. When my mother, God bless her, she's been gone now 10 years, but when my mother was ill, a couple of years before she died, she'd had a prolonged admission to a hospital under a very good specialist physician. I went to visit her one day and she said, "Oh, I'm just tired. I've had enough. Things aren't getting better." And so I thought, well, this is the time to have the conversation. So we talked about death and dying. And I said to her, "Mum, it's okay if you want to let go." And I think she was close to making that decision when the physician entered the room. She said something like that to him, and he said, "Oh no, I just want to try one more thing." Now, God bless her, she said, "Very good doctor, will do that." Well, she was fine. That one next option fixed her problem, and she had another couple of years of very happy, comfortable life. So sometimes it's important to give clinicians the credit they deserve as professionals.